Ghana is facing an opioid crisis. Cheap pills are flooding the country, and many people are falling into addiction.
That is the box, Tamale, 120.
As the government fails to stop it,
we have the immigration, we have the customs service that are to check all imports that are coming into the country. So how comes it maneuvers its way to?
Citizen vigilantes are stepping in.
Why are you running? We are not the police. We don't have any search warrant. So whatever we are doing is even out of the law. We are aware.
They are taking the law into their own hands.
So I could I save 100 lives, man. If you help us to have the bigger fish, we can decide to pardon you.
We investigate whether they're doing more harm than good.
I'm against citizen vigilante, 101%.
Tamale, northern Ghana. This group of men are preparing for a chase. They've just received a tip, the location of a drug dealer. And they plan to catch him red-handed. These men are the city's anti-drug task force. Ordinary citizens turned vigilantes. They have one mission. To rid the streets of illegal drug use. They stop and search anyone they suspect of selling or using illicit drugs. No one is spared. Dealers and users alike are rounded up. And finally, they find what they're looking for: a stash of opioids.
This from the 120, which has just been used. They've just used and kept it inside the dustbin. So they are claiming they are not using them. Before we go to some place, we've taken more intelligence of that vicinity. We don't just get up and go. We make sure we have evidence. Someone came here and bought it. Initially, that morning.
That is the box, Tamale, 120.
Raids like this take place 2 or 3 times a week. This one has been a success. The vigilantes detain 10 men and take them away with them. Tramadol is a cheap synthetic opioid, usually prescribed as a painkiller, but it's also used recreationally across West Africa. Videos of users experiencing euphoric effects regularly surface online.
It's like spiritual something. It makes you see very fast.
But it's highly addictive, ruins lives, and overdose can lead to death. To tackle this health crisis, Ghana prohibited its sale without a doctor's prescription. But high-dose versions are easy to find on the black market. And new similar drugs like tafrodol are growing in popularity. Almost 90% of tramadol seized between 2015 and 2023 was found in West and Central Africa. Most of these pills come from India, primarily entering through major trade ports and trafficked easily across the region's porous borders. Tamale is Ghana's third largest city and one of the fastest growing in West Africa. But poverty and unemployment are high, particularly among young people. And opioid use is spreading like wildfire, with kids as young as 10 falling into addiction. 3 years ago, a group of citizens formed the Tamale Anti-Drug Task Force. Farmers, bakers, shopkeepers taking matters into their own hands. It now has more than 100 members. Ibrahim runs a printing shop in the city and was one of the first members.
A house behind my shop here, there is a house there where they were selling it 24/7. It came to a time that this area was not safe. People were stealing. A day came, they stole like 4 motorbikes within one night. We need to help the society. We need to use force. Sometimes, that if preparation fails, force must be applied. Initially, we were working with the police. All the time, we move with the police. Before we get to the drug bound, they will escape. So we got to realize that some of the police were giving drug barons the informations.
Abdul Rahman, who runs a bakery, is also a founding member of the task force.
We realized that the security agents, especially the police, were not willing to help because they also find their way of getting money out of the dealers.
He says they had no choice but to take up the fight themselves.
We have the Food and Drugs Board, that is to fight it. The Pharmacy Council to fight it. The police, the custom, immigration. How comes the drug is in? They were supposed to protect it because they are the mandatory authorities to fight it at the borders. We don't manufacture tramadol in Ghana here.
In early 2025, the Ghanaian health minister declared the opioid crisis a national emergency. He acknowledged that there were gaps in border security and that the rules must be tightened. Back at their base, the vigilantes questioned the men they caught in the raid.
So when sanka that tramadol man. Abi ya mama mi man. So bwana akakora.
Most of those arrested are suspected users.
So you know the me kananga. Huh? So abu nyurba. 225 abu van. Na ta bujo ah. So ya sigari.
Farbe ka jot. Achama farbe.
Ana ya ta pa farbe. Yama yana. Eh? Ndo ma nyura fa. Chama fa nyuri, chama fa. Kama tanza hama. Jumala kama.
Hali wi shele ni nyurma. Wi shanga yimpe ni nyurma. De za de lighting the lights. Definitely. De nyur sam de nyurma na hankal. De ni nyurlam na buru tal. Ah mani mo kaya wi nyur na hankal. The yellow once in a while. Am I in Kusan? You know, you vary. No, the no, yeah, Zomen now. You hear now. Huh? Zomen now, you hear.
But they believe this man is a dealer. Kamil, the co-chairman of the task force, leads the interrogation.
Identify your products. One day consumption, but how much are you buying a sachet from your supplier?
100 cities.
So under one sachet, 100 cities. Retail price, so kami kwahara alala. If you help us to have the bigger fish, we can decide to pardon you. So call him and say you want to buy.
Hello. I'm the board of the master. Got a 5. You got 10 minutes.
It's one of our techniques that we want to use and get. So it means the supplier is not aware he's under arrest. So we will manage and get him to tonight too.
And you're not going to call the police?
We will not call the police. We do it without the police.
The next day, the suspects are brought before the elders of the community.
Now, can you
The elders call the young men's mothers, hoping to shame them into stopping. Last night, the vigilantes caught the local dealer's supplier. And now, they want to catch an even bigger fish. He gives them a number, but it is unreachable, so they use an app to try to trace its owner.
The one giving him the drugs is a security personnel, precisely immigration officer.
The Global Organized Crime Index says corruption is deeply entrenched in the Ghanaian state. Immigration, customs, and police officials have all been accused of facilitating drugs and arms trafficking.
All the time we give investigation to the police. Even now we've stopped it because we've lost confidence in the police.
When it reaches where we should prosecute, we gather our evidence and proceed them, because we will be principal witnesses, not them.
The vigilantes don't operate in secret. They broadcast all their activities online, incinerating seized drugs, detaining suspects, and naming and shaming alleged dealers. Morality and social ostracization are their tools of justice. And the attention helps the movement grow, spreading across the country. More than 300 kilometers away, the town of Wa is fighting a similar battle. This private rehabilitation center is home to 45 patients. Most are opioid users. Eliasu Yusuf says his facility, the Bahas Center, is filling a gap in the public services.
Come. Voila. What is it? What is it? Tell me. We have only three psychiatric hospitals in Dakar, but all are for government. And unfortunately, none of them is in the northern sector. The drug issue is rampant in the region. For the past 2 years, it's rampant, and through there, we have been getting mental ill people on the streets. Hey, as-salat, as-salat, as-salat.
Keeping the center running is a challenge. The rent alone costs $2,700 a month. And the government is not helping.
Of accommodation, we don't have enough accommodation. We couldn't bring all of them here. Some of them are on the street, others are still on the gutter. These are the few that we can bring here.
WA's regional minister strongly supports citizen initiatives.
We have foundations and groups made up of young people who are doing campaigns against them, discussing the harmful nature of them. If you take the youth parliament as one, a few other places are one.
But vigilante groups are a different story. And the minister has a clear message for anyone planning to take law and order into their own hands.
The general system of dealing with somebody who has been found culpable or who has been found to have robbed is a procedure. A lot of people don't have that patience. And that is why in some cases people think that it is for them to do it, but they always forget that in an attempt to do that, and you also mess up. I'm against citizen vigilante, 101%. I'm against citizen vigilante. A good citizen is not a vigilante. A good citizen is the one who provides information to authorities to carry out using due process. The other reason is because if you encourage citizen vigilante, and if they go beyond bounds, how do we hold them up? And these are the citizen vigilantes that may grow even to gangs and decide that they colonize or regulate other locales. So in Upper West, you can't be a citizen vigilante. You can only be a good citizen, not a spectator.
Back in Tamale, the task force's raids are growing more violent, terrorizing those they consider to be a threat to society. They set fire to shelters and belongings. Breaking the law in the name of justice.
The law doesn't agree to us, but we are using force in societal basis. We have no legal right to come to someone's property and search for drugs.
So you are acting illegally?
Illegally. We are not the police. We don't have any search warrants. So whatever we are doing is even out of the law. We are aware. But sometimes we have to use force.
The vigilantes have petitioned Tamale's municipal authority to formally recognize the task force and grant them power to conduct their operations. And the mayor has thrown his support behind them.
The local task force is very effective, yes.
But isn't it the role of the police to
It is the role of the police. Yes, there are a lot of activities that is the role of the police, but the citizens have to also complement. I think the local task force and then the police service, there is some friction. That was what I wanted to patch up. They needed to be doing a teamwork.
Today, an elite special ops task force from the capital is deployed to Tamale. Its mission, to to crack down on armed robbery and other violent crime.
Aho! Aho! Let us make sure that we execute our duty devoid of any too much of casualties. Casualties are expected, but it only happens when it becomes so necessary and enormous. Sir! Carry on.
Yes, sir!
Good. Hey. When we came, we got to realize that the issue of commission of crime is all because of the consumption of the illicit drugs. We arrest people who are even university graduates. That is the most unfortunate aspect. Even the consumption and e-sale has gotten to our secondary schools, even in the primary school level and the basic level.
The Special Ops Unit has carried out one of the most extensive crackdowns Tamale has ever seen. And unlike local police, it's working hand in hand with the Vigilante Task Force. A successful collaboration.
So you see, the task force have been able to arrest this suspect, and then they are handing them over to us.
I have to send the information to William, so you take it from me. I'm not in charge now, he's in charge.
Charlie, sit down.
Much of the local community supports the vigilantes, including in mosques. Valuable support in this part of Ghana, where Islam is the main religion. The success of Tamale's anti-drug task force has become an example for other communities. And other towns across the region are asking for advice on how to set up their own groups.
Let's avoid tramadol. Let's avoid tramadol. Say no to tramadol. Say no to shisha.
In the nearby town of Dalun, Kamil and some of the other Tamale members have come to launch a new anti-drug task force.
Assalamu alaikum. Wunni be shall dem a Muslim sister am tele. To tramadol kwa manu to kuo. Wallahi di ku pagin man kuo yan kuo me because Lord ba yara me na nduru lor kanna ntinya so aku tramadol kwa. As several and 100 life man. Now I'm being boa. Now I'm boa ban be bene. The zotia in yell yame. The dwell about Camilla Kamaya. Tramadol kwa.
A disturbing speech. But the vigilantes are receiving growing support from government officials.
I'm still waiting for head office on some local fields. Okay. So I will make sure as soon as we start, you are fully packed.
Where is your office located?
At UFO. Okay.
Then no problem. We'll pay you a visit.
So please, I'll be waiting.
We'll pay you a visit.
Please come.
Yes, we'll pay you a visit. Yes.
What motivates me more? One day you can just sit down and say, oh, my president is taking tramadol. My minister is taking tramadol. If you don't stop it, that will come to that stage. So that was what I said, no, we need to come together and fight this common goal.
In stopping one crisis, Ibrahim and his friends risk fueling another, where citizen-led justice begins to undermine the rule of law.